Okay, last question. Are there any challenges to working in this industry? And if so, what are the two biggest ones? Yes, definitely. Lots of challenges. I talked a little bit before about how there's this combination of creative and technical, which can make things really challenging. The collaboration needed generally makes things really challenging. But I think the biggest challenge, two challenges, are around the level of competition and the amount of saturation. So in games business, one of the things we deal with is the fact that there are so many video games out there, so many. Like so many published every day. On Steam, you've probably heard of Steam. There are something like 35 games a day published. That means if you make a video game and it takes you 2 or 3 years, you publish it on Steam, there's 34 other games straight away. And the next day, 35. Just constant stuff coming. Some of it is slop. Some of it is like asset flips and, clones and stuff like that. Not high quality, but there's plenty of really good quality games out there, as well as big AAA games that are just like monsters, right? It's like, some people are saying, don't even bother publishing a game in the same year that GTA 6 is coming out. It's just going to suck up everything else. Monster Hunter Wild. So it's just taken up so much of people's attention. So it's really, really hard to get noticed and to become visible and to become discoverable if you're publishing a game. So you have to do heaps and heaps of marketing, heaps and heaps of work to try and get out there and rise above this whole mass of people who are making games as well. And that's probably the biggest challenge for indie game devs and for studios publishing games generally. On an individual level, if you just want to get a job in game dev, the same thing applies, actually. There's heaps and heaps of people who want jobs. Probably the biggest challenge industry-wide is its volatility. So just yesterday, Playside, a big studio in Melbourne, announced a restructure and laid off 40 people or something like that. So there are always studio layoffs happening. There's always cycles of growth and bust. So there's people getting jobs and then losing jobs. And what this means is there's lots of really highly qualified, really experienced people around that are looking for jobs. Always. And then there are so many graduates coming out. There are so many people who want to make games and want to get that job. So it's a really, really competitive job market as well, which means the same thing as what I said before, same thing about publishing a game. You have to work really, really hard. You have to have a really good skill set and be able to demonstrate that skill set. You need a good brand. You need to be able to talk about yourself. You need a profile. You need to have made games. You need to have games under your belt and show that you have a profile or a portfolio of games that you've made. You can publish them on Itch, even. It's free to publish them there or whatever. Or if you're an artist, you have a portfolio on ArtStation or something like that. So even just to get a job, really competitive job market as well. And not many jobs out there. And quite often people have to move for jobs in game dev. So if you graduate in Adelaide, for example, not many jobs in Adelaide. You might have to go to Melbourne or Sydney or California or Montreal or Europe to get a job. So it's very, very challenging, both for games in a really saturated market and also for people looking for jobs in a really saturated job market as well. So that's the biggest challenge for the industry, I think. I could talk a lot more about business challenges, but they're the main ones probably relevant to what you're asking about. Okay, Finn, that's it. That's all the questions you asked me, and I hope they're good answers. If you have any further questions, feel free to send them through. Please, what would help me a little bit is if you shared this video and shared it with other people or let other people know about it. That would really help me. Feel free to put comments in the YouTube video here. That would help, and let other people know things that I've said. The last thing that I would say is, these opinions are obviously just mine. They're not necessarily the opinions of AIE or Bad Plan Studios or anything else. Other people believe different things about game dev, so I would encourage you to ask other people and get different perspectives on the industry and working in the industry and things like that, because I have a very specific and kind of unique perspective. So, take everything that I say with a grain of salt, but hopefully that helps your research project. And all the best with your future game dev career. And I look forward to seeing what games you make and playing them. Thanks. Bye.